Hi, I'm Jaden Swell. I'm here for the interview.
Hi, nice to meet you, Jaden. I'm Logan.
Nice to meet you, last name Logan.
So, how would you describe yourself as a person, and what are some moments in your life that helped shape you?
I would describe myself as a person who's reliable. I would say that I'm easygoing. I get along with everybody. And when I think about moments, that shape me, I think about my interactions in esports. I think about when I was a kid, playing baseball with everybody when I was younger. Just think about everybody with different backgrounds kind of made me realize that it's just easy to get along with everybody. And another moment I would say would be just when I was coaching. And basically I learned that body language is everything. And in order to be positive, I always want to be positive in life. Your body language rubs off on the people around you. So I feel like, that'd be another moment that shaped who I am today.
What qualities do you feel a successful manager should have?
A successful manager should have a good personal relationship with their employees. A successful manager should just be relaxed. They should know every employee personally. And I feel like they gotta check in, because if an employee's not doing well, maybe at home or anything else in their life, then they're not gonna perform well at work. So the manager needs to know that and be able to get past that, get the best out of each of their employees. But they also need to have a spine, because you just let your employees walk on over you, then as a manager you're not gonna get anything done. But don't bark orders, but if you be firm with your employees, and everything's going to be okay. You'll get everything done efficiently and effectively.
What is a weakness of yours, and what are you doing to overcome it?
A weakness of mine would definitely be asking for help. I always want to get things done myself, and I want to do everything myself I can, because I feel like it bothers other people when I get involved. And it's a big weakness of mine, because if I can't do it, sometimes I might make things worse than when I can just ask a coworker or ask my supervisor for help. So I'm doing the work on it. I'm just, once I can't do it myself, once I figure out hey, what I'm doing here isn't the best thing to do, maybe I need to get somebody else who can make the situation better rather than me trying to make things worse. If that makes any sense.
If I were walking away and I told you that you did not get the job, what would be your last push to convince me that you deserve it?
I would be telling you you're making a huge mistake, because I'm the hardest working person you will ever find. I am better than every single other candidate you have. My experience and my work ethic will outmatch any other candidate that's going up against me. I'll basically say you wouldn't regret it if you hired me, and you'd be making the biggest mistake if you did.
If you were asked to do something illegal or something against your moral code, what would you do and how would you handle it?
Tough question. But what I would do is I would stick to my morals, because my ethics and my morals I hold in high regard, including my word as well. Basically, I would read the situation, but I'm going to stick to my morals, because my morals mean everything to me. And doing something illegal does not give me the right to break my morals. So I would just back away, handling it by just backing away, and if I have to do something illegal, I just find another way and not break the law.
How would your friends and family describe you, or how would your enemy describe you?
My family would definitely say that I'm someone to rely on. I'm a shoulder to cry on, as they say. I'm always going to be there, never going to walk away from someone. And they would basically tell me that I'm intelligent, I'm fun to be around. I'm just going to stick with people through good and bad times. And then I think they would tell you that I'm mature. I always used to get that a lot when I was in coaching at age 14. They always tell me I was mature. So I definitely think they would say that. Now, I can't tell you how an enemy would describe me, because I don't create enemies. I get along with everybody just fine. And I hope no one out there has me as their enemy.
What about our organization's values and mission attracted you to apply for this position?
The organization provides itself on winning and excellence, and both those things I take into my life. The organization, they win on and off the field, and I just want to be a part of that. I'm attracted to the fact that they hold themselves to excellence and to the highest standard, and I want to be a part of it.
Tell me about your previous experiences and current knowledge of the baseball/media relations industry.
I started in the baseball industry as a player when I was about 4 years old and continued playing at a high level until I was about 16. My real work started when I started to volunteer as a youth baseball coach for intermediate baseball, which is ages 11 to 13, when I was about 14 years old. And I did that until I was 18 and left to go to college. So my experience is all about, working, with the game, so more on the field stuff, but off the field I have various experience using social media. I'm very comfortable with different social media apps, and if you put me into one of them right now, I could very comfortably do what the task needs to be done.
What do you know about this position?
What I know about the position is that it involves media and working with technology to remote players in the corporate brands. I'm also aware of this organization. This internship involves a lot of writing, which I'm prepared for, and I enjoy writing a lot, and I look forward to writing about different players in the daily minor league report.
Describe a situation in which you had trouble completing a task, and how were you able to complete it successfully?
One time, when I worked at Topgolf, I was struggling to complete this task of checking a member in at their bay. Now, when people come in and Topgolf, they have to check in to their bay, and that was my job, to make sure that goes smoothly. But I was unfamiliar with the computer software, and so I was unable to do it correctly. I kept messing it up. How I dealt with it, though, was bringing in one of my coworkers to show me how the software works, and I was able to get it on time. I never actually had trouble with that task again because I got it so quickly.
We have a diverse workplace, clientele, and workforce. Please describe how you relate with diverse populations.
I get along with diverse populations very well. I never really had a problem with anybody at all. Basically, when I was growing up, my mom always told me everybody's the same. We're all just humans. We may have different backgrounds and ideas, but at the end of the day, we're just humans. And that's how I see everybody. We're all just together, and at the workplace, we're all just one team trying to complete the task at hand. And I guess I relate to them that way because we are all just humans.
Describe your biggest work failure. How did you handle it?
One of my biggest work failures happened at my job at Princess Anne Country Club, which is on the golf course. Now, my job was to pick the driving range in this big cart we called the picker. Now, one day, when I was driving the picker, I took a turn too tight, and I broke the machine. And it's a big no-no to do that because it's very expensive to fix, and it also slows down the whole operation because we have to go pick the driving range by hand. So that was a huge failure of mine, and I got chewed out by my boss and all that, but really I just wanted to keep my head on high. I learned from my mistakes, which is a big part of moving on, just learning what I did wrong, and I was able to do that, and now I know what not to do. So I'm basically just handling my failure by learning from the mistakes and making sure it doesn't happen again.
If you can live in any time era, except for the one you're currently living in, which era would you live in, and why this era?
I think I would live in the 1980s. It's a fun question here, but I would pick the 1980s just because of the music and the pop culture. I feel like, along with the fashion, it was just a fun time, and I do enjoy looking back at 1980s music and all that rock and roll and stuff. So I feel like I would enjoy living through that when all these songs were coming out, and pop culture icons of the 80s. I feel like it was just a good time. People were happy. It's a good place to be. So that's why I feel like I would choose the 1980s.
I really appreciate your consideration for coming in. It was really nice meeting you, and you'll be hearing from us soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.